Hey, everybody. Uh, I don't know what to call this. Just stuff coming back to memory. Uh, I'd probably call this Watachi is an asshole, or could be an asshole. Now, before the Watachi running free name come along, I would say most of this happened, but I've made that name famous, and that name Watachi comes from my dad. So, I'm going to start off. Come on, folks. Me being an asshole, you can know that goes back 60 years. There ain't enough recording capabilities on here to cover all of it. So I'm only going to go back so far. And I'm going to have to start in the Fort McDowell Indian Reservation. It's a pretty well known Indian reservation in the Mesa, Phoenix area. They got casinos. Well, we was doing work for them under my dad's company, not mine, under my dad's company. And we spent. I knew the chief. I knew all the tribal leaders. And one day I was coming across a hunk of highway that was Indian land. I'm in my Bronco now. My Bronco was hell. I could run the interstate or I could run through the desert. It didn't matter at the same damn speed. It was set up. But I ran that Bronco for work and shit too. And I was running late to a job that my dad was already on it, and I think we had another guy or two that was working on that job. And I was late getting there, and it was a pretty good distance. I had to go across uh, Salt River, dried up Salt River, and then come up and come around these mountains to get in to Fort McDowell. And when I was doing it, there was one of the Indian cops running down the road. Now this Indian cop, he came. I was in the hammer lane. I was cruising up through there, and he just whipped right over in front of me. He was getting ready to make the same turn I was, but he didn't turn on a turn signal. He didn't do shit. He just whipped right over in front of me, and I had to hit my brakes and slow down. I was coming up the same turn he was getting ready to take. No turn signal. He didn't do shit. So when he did that, the old Watachi sign came up. I didn't give a shit if he was a cop. Well, he made the turn and I made the turn. I stayed right behind him. We're running down through there. All of a sudden, he makes a right or a left turn. I'm not. I'm going straight. He made the left turn. I went straight. He went down, turned around, came back out behind me, come running up behind me. I seen him. We're running down dirt roads across the Indian reservation, folks. I could see him coming. He comes up on me. He's got his lights on, pulls me over. He uh, he gets out. I said, what the hell's the problem? He goes, man, uh, I just pulling you over because you waved at me back there. I said, waved at you? What are you talking about, waved at you? He goes, you flipped me off. Oh, you was that son of a bitch that got jumped over. You didn't even turn on your turn signal or nothing. You just came over in front of me like you owned the damn place. He goes, let me see your ID. I said, hell no, I ain't giving you my ID. I ain't giving you shit. I'm working over here. And I told him who to call. He stopped. Just pissed him off because I flipped him off. He fucking let me go, and I went on to the job. Well, I told on him for pulling me over in the first place. He got more trouble than I did. Now, there was another tribe that owned the land that around where I lived, out towards the Santan Mountains in Arizona. There was actually, I think, a couple of tribes, because if you went across a hunk of land, you could get to Coolidge, Arizona. And that was another tribe out there. But the land, if you went off-road, you could save an hour by going across. I think it was the Santan Indian Reservation. I'm not for sure, because that was a long time ago, but it was the Santan Mountain Range that I'm talking about. So I'm thinking that's who the tribe that owned the land. And Coolidge is known for their own Indians. They got proof of all that. But the Santan Indians now, if that's the name of that Santan Mountain Range area, I can't say it is, but I remember it's the mountain range of Santan, and those Indians had that. That Indian tribe had it. I would say they're the Santan Indians. I went to them. Now, I was riding my dirt bike and shit out across their land and coming across all these piles of garbage and just garbage. That they didn't have a whole lot of land, man, out there. So I was driving on my dirt bike, and I didn't even know I was on Indian land. I was just riding along. I could ride my dirt bike right out of my house. And somebody told me, hey, man, you've been out there, man, out there, that's Indian land. You better fucking get permission to be out there. So I went and I fucking found out through a buddy of mine who the chief was. And this chief, he did a thing with an eagle arrow, or eagle feather. Now, this chief, he would give you an eagle feather. If you weren't native, if you weren't one of the tribe, he'd give you this feather. And if you was on their land and anybody stopped you and asked you if you had permission to be there, all you had to do was pull this eagle feather out and show it to them. And they knew it was from the chief. There was a design on the bottom of the arrow and shit, but it was just an eagle feather with some decoration on it. And a guy told me, man, if you go to the chief, get that feather, you can be on their land. There won't be no problems. I went to this chief and asked him. Said, I've seen your land. I said, there's a lot of garbage out there, chief. I said, I'll tell you what, if you allow me to be on your land, every time I go out there and I'm on your land, I will, because some of the times I went out in places I rode, I had a trailer that I'd haul both my RM250 and my CR250 with me. In case one broke down, I had the other one to ride. So I had a trailer that I hauled with me. Now out there, I told them I'll take my trailer out there with just one bike on it. I'll ride my bike, and when I leave, I'll put my bike on and I'll pack up and haul off all that trash that I'm finding out there. Well, this chief told me, who the hell do you think put that trash there? I said, I guess you guys, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, we don't want you on our land. I said, Chief, I want to remind you, I mean, you get to come on our land. Hell, I'm coming over here. I'm offering to haul the garbage off that you guys have put there and clean it up if you allow me to come on your land. He looked at me and he said, I don't want you on my land. I said, all right. I sat back in my chair for a minute and I looked at him, dead in his eye. And I told him, we took this land from you once. We can take it again. He looked at me, his whole expression changed. He went from, what? I have never had anybody speak to me like you. I said, well, I'm honest. Well, I wasn't allowed back on their land, needless to say. Now, I'm going to move it a little quicker here on this. Sheriff Joe Arpaio of Maricopa County did not like me. I pissed him off as well. He had video cameras of me driving through his county, rush hour traffic, through fences, over trees, out in my Bronco. Had sheriffs chasing me. Had his helicopter on me videoing it. But he didn't realize why I was running. I had a bunch of damn skinheads that were trying to kill me. By the time it was over with, my entire neighborhood was so plugged up with cops, Mesa cops, Maricopa County sheriffs, medical people. The helicopter had called everybody in, had it all videotaped. My wife and kids couldn't even get into our house. There was so many cops in my neighborhood. I made it all the way back to my house, folks. I was being chased by skinheads, and I was trying to get back to the house to call the cops, and I had a shotgun right inside my fucking door, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. Now, I did not know the sheriff helicopter was over. I did not know the off-duty sheriff that saw me jump through an intersection in the air in my Bronco and run a red light. He's the one that called the cops in on me. They were a ways behind me. I did not know they were there or I would have stopped. But I didn't till I got to my house. First car on me was the off-duty officer, sheriff of Maricopa County. The sheriff deputy, not the sheriff. And he had his gun on me. He dropped me to the ground. He was ready to shoot my ass from what I'd just done. And I walked away with an illegal lane change. I didn't use my turn signal. That was all they could put on me, folks. That was it. I piss them people off. Then I found Sheriff Blakely in Limestone County, Alabama. This guy, I set off like a fire engine. Not only him, Alabama State Trooper Officer Edwards. All these videos, and I'm hoping if I'm as good as, or if I, Richie from Boston got his channel back. All these big channels like Brian from High Impact, they all got their channels back. I'm hoping to get all these videos back with my original channel as well. And they're on there. But I pissed off the state troopers down there as well. Now then, we'll go up to Indianapolis. Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. I fucked with them so bad. They lied on police reports. I was a witness to my own, where I was being victimized. I was my own witness. They put on the police report. No witness. I didn't even witness me being victimized. That's what they did. Greenwood, Indiana Police Department. Oh, I pissed them off big time. I recorded them in places, and I talked about how they were pound for pound the heaviest police department in the world, because every damn one of them weighed about 300 or 400 pounds. Every one of them. Pissed them off majorly. The Johnson County court system. Oh, they hated me. They hated me. Was in front of them many times. They hated me. Then I moved to Ohio. I'm going to have to cut this down, folks. I don't want another 30-minute video. Then I moved to Ohio, and you know what happened a couple of years ago. Well, I started a couple of years ago pissing off people around here. I pissed off everybody. Governor out of his mind to whine. I made many. I called his office so many damn times that none of them had the balls to call me back. The Attorney General of Ohio, pussy, never had the balls to call me back. Ohio Health Department, bunch of damn hypocrite lying, never called me back. Then we get down to FBI, Department of Justice, shit. They don't give a fuck about nobody either. Pissed them off just as well in the last couple of years. Guarantee it. Mahoney County Sheriff Green, I've called him out for a coward more than about 100 times in the last few years. Boardman Township trustees, they allowed my very rights to be violated majorly. Even if you went down and and got the copy of the law from them, they violated their own damn laws. Nothing. But I pissed them off good. Then it went to Boardman Township Police Department. Oh, shit. I pissed them people off so good. I was their shift change discussion for a while. From the chief all the way down through the officers, all the way down to the people that dusted the desk off at night and cleaned the chief's toilet for him. I pissed them all off. Mahoney County Courtroom number 2. Oh, I pissed off everybody from, let's see, from just the person that collects money on your fines at the window, all the way up to the damn judge. I gotta turn this. This is how many people I piss off. And this ain't even 60 years. I pissed off the bailiff to no end. Everyone in the courtroom below the bailiff pissed them off to no end, filing for different shit. I just kept them busy. Prosecutor's office, the first prosecutor, he said, I don't want nothing to do with this. Second prosecutor, he carried it all the way through. He no longer works there today. He no longer works in that courtroom today. He's the one that carried this all the way through. No longer works there. I piss off people everywhere. I pissed off the probation office. I'm on probation for all this shit. I pissed them off as well. I pissed off a magistrate that come up here from Chattanooga, Tennessee, about 4 years ago. He used to come up here all the time, make all kinds of money. They had a fake-ass photo radar cop thing going up here in Girard, Ohio. Oh, it was going good. They were making all kinds of money. Hell, they could even talk about it on the radio. Tell you, oh, they're up there taking them illegal fucking radar photos standing on a bridge. Well, my wife got one, and I was driving the car. Well, I went in there and fought it. I found out there was a class action lawsuit going on in this state for those very things. And I told the magistrate that I'd have his name added to that class action lawsuit if this went any further. He never came back to prosecute another one of them charges, and they stopped doing it in Girard. I piss off a lot of people, folks. I piss off a lot of people. From Washington, D.C., the IRS, every fucking buddy I pissed off at some time or another. And probably even you. Sometimes I'm so fucking, I piss off my damn self. So I want you people to understand something right now. I pissed off a lot of people. So I ask you one thing right now. If you ever find, if my body is ever found chopped up, stuffed into a trash bag, and thrown into the river, the only thing I ask you is don't believe the suicide note. May God bless us all. And people, I love y'all. I wish I could just hang around with all of you and put up with all of you. I love y'all. But some of you make it damn hard. And I'll piss you off if you do. Have a good one. Till the next one.